Hello, my lovelies. This is Trickster Cat, the Alpha Monster. We're going to pick right up where we left off previously. We have our intrepid hero, Pleone, has decided that she wants to go to the moon with this crashed, basically with a crashed Moonlander. Well, not Moonlander, the actual spaceship that crashed in the forest, and she's going to have her friend Kikikaya fix it up. But to do that, she needs her sister's, she basically needs all the goodwill, she needs the goodwill of her sisters to power the magic to do so. But things aren't really going in that direction. So far, Pleone is going about looking to find out ways that she can earn her sister's gratitude, I guess you could say. Basically, her idea was if she can fulfill her sister's heart's greatest desires, that they'll help her with hers. So far, we just talked to one sister, and we're about to talk to the next. The first sister, not Malia, but oh god, they've got the strangest names. I'm sorry. I'm keeping them in mind, like remembering them is interesting. Anyway, I'm about to start calling them Forest Sister and Beer Sister. Anyway, one sister wants a bottle of wine sent to her by her son, and that did not come in the mail like it should have, and she wants it to be found. And the next was, we're actually going to go to Malia to find out if she still has the mail that was the apology note about it. And hopefully we're also going to find out her heart's desire. So let's actually get started. Small one, let not the ravages of wind and weed mar your heart. Hey, Melly! Ah, Leona. I see an image within your heart. Don't you think that's at least a little bit rude? See, that's very, very bad psychic etiquette. Before, she was showing very good psychic etiquette. She was guessing herself. She didn't do it without asking. Now she's just jumping right into it, and that's extremely rude. So all you mind readers and empaths that have control over your abilities, it's one thing if you can't, if it's an accident. But do not deliberately read people's minds and hearts and emotions and various other things that you can read. Because that is bad psychic etiquette, my friends. Very bad indeed. Okay. It's a book? But don't you have a lot of those? If you have nothing better to do than to mock me, I suggest you leave. Sorry. But I want to find it for you. If you insist. It is a volume of verse written by a former love. That young man who was living with you? Why didn't he give it to you like that pocket watch you wear? It's a pocket watch? Sorry, I'm used to pocket watches that are like pretty large, like to the point where they're about the size of your entire palm. So seeing one that's that small, I thought that was a locket or something. I guess there would be smaller pocket watches. I'm just used to larger ones. The act of pouring one's soul, unbared, unto the page, is intensely personal and intensely private. You would not let me look until I had finished. But time took him from me before that could come to pass. He died? I thought he just left. I do beg your pardon. I would like to know, first of all, why you feel the need to pry into my business. I want to make you happy and to support me. To support you with what? Visiting my friend on the moon. I suppose it cannot be helped that I should, eventually, need to take responsibility for planting the seeds of such an idea. Very well. I know not where the book is hidden, but I would very much like to see it returned to me. Unread. Got it. Oh, and Edna mentioned something about a letter from the post? Leone, every letter we received is from the post. Oh no, I mean the post office itself. Oh no, I mean the post office itself sent an apology to her. Sent an apology to her for her parcel getting lost. It seems like it's a British story, or at least they're in like Europe at least, because calling it a parcel and the post and all that, we just call it a package from the mail over here. I think that's part of what's tripping me up. Some of these turns of phrase are a little off from what I'm used to. Oh, yes, of course. Just let me fetch it. A few minutes later. Here it is. There are a lot of very formal apologies here that are both not interesting and not useful. But more importantly, they reported the last known location of the missing item. It's by the milkweed forest. It's not far from there. Oh, that's where Oberon. Okay, I got a bone to pick with this name because I've seen it more recently used with different things, and they always pronounce it Titania. But I'm like, this is a very old name that shows up a lot in, like, it's especially famous for showing up in, like, Shakespeare. And I'm pretty, and, like, Oberon and her, I'm not gonna, are supposedly two fae of the forest. And, they show up in a lot of, like, older stories and everything. And I'm pretty sure that her name is supposed to be like Titania, as in like Titan. Like she's supposed to be like, her story is supposed to be, or at least her name is supposed to come from the Titans, like the predecessors of the Greek and Roman gods, Titans. So her name would be Titania. But I keep seeing it pronounced Titania, and I don't know if that's just an anime thing where they keep pronouncing it that way because of like a misunderstanding or what. Especially with this has especially become noticeable with I'm sorry, I couldn't think of what it was called, and so I was about to be like Attack on VR or whatever. No, it's the it became a problem after the fairy dance arc of Sword Art Online. Yeah. Attack on VR. I mean, that's basically what it is. No, but I mean, I could be completely wrong. It could legitimately be pronounced Titania, but I'm like almost positive that it's supposed to be pronounced Titania, as in like Titan. Just, I don't know, if people can if people can comment like legitimate like evidence of it being one or the other, then I'll like defer to that or whatever. Like I'll accept that I was wrong, or like be happy that I was right. But do make it like actual evidence, please. Not like, oh, I saw this one show and it was pronounced this, so it's probably that. It's like, no. That's not what I mean. Like, maybe some older thing, like if you can find enough older things, like I'd say like minimum 10 years ago. If y'all could manage that, I would be extremely happy if you guys could find some things of how it is properly supposed to be pronounced. Because if one more person says Titania, I'm like, okay. Oh! So yeah, I am going to pronounce it Titania. Oh! That's where Oberon and Titania live, right? No longer, I fear. Titania gave her life to protect the milkweed forest from approaching mortals. Oh. What about Oberon? The loss of his mate. It dwelt rather heavily upon his mind. He left the forest that had been his home to a place I know not of. Perhaps in breaking his pact with the forest, he has also spurned his immortality. Or perhaps he has formed a new pact and serves as guardian elsewhere. Regardless, if you look there, you might find something. Right. Thanks, Malia. I'll check it out later. Okay. Time to let Sakura know I'll be arriving soon. Oh, sorry. Time to let Sakura know I'll be arriving soon. Dear Sakura, how are things on the moon? We had a big human thingy drop from the sky last night, and Malia says it's a ship used to fly to the moon. I don't know how these things work, but Kikakaya thinks that she can use some magic to fix it up, if I get people invested enough in my success. I got the idea from Kikakaya that maybe if I got my sisters what they wanted, that maybe then they'd want me to succeed in getting to the moon. But Etna got upset that I was thinking of leaving, and I looked into Malia's head without asking, and I said some things that got her a bit mad. I'm not sure if I can succeed in this, but I'm going to try my hardest anyway. I hope I can see you soon. Love, Leone. Alright, I need a copy with carbon paper and time to burn it. Nah. This is cute, because I'm like, after all of this build-up, she turns out to be like, I'm sorry, I just think it would be really funny if after all of this build-up, it turned out that she was Pyro. That would just be the best. I'm sorry, I just find that really funny. Time to burn it. The first time I sent Sakura a letter, it was on accident. I wrote a letter about, I don't remember, but I was upset and wanted to vent. And then I burned it because it'd be like burning my problems away. But then I found a reply in my house a few days later. To Miss Keone of the Silk Forest. I apologize if you were not expecting an actual reply, but I felt it was appropriate. My name is Sakura, and I am a citizen of the Heavens You Envy So, residing on the moon. I noticed some unusual smoke in the atmosphere, with a strong, sad sentiment, and pulled it together with my magic. I am a rabbit fairy, one among many that reside here on the moon. I work with my familiars and my fellow denizens to ensure the moon keeps moving properly, so that the tides of the human girl, so that the tides in the human world go regularly. And frankly, I'm bored out of my mind. Hardly anyone visits, and I have very little if any contact with the outside. I want to know what other people and places are like outside this secluded little satellite. So if you could continue to send me letters, I would very much appreciate it. Thanks for reading, Zafra. That was how I first met her. Well, if you could call it a meeting. Anyway, let's get to searching. Wait, huh? There's a picture here on my desk of that poet sitting in the silk blades. I remember. That was his favorite spot to write. Maybe his book was left there? Okay, I think this is a good stopping point. I really do like how the story is progressing, and it's very, despite some of the more modern elements and everything, it does very much have a fairy tale-esque, like, the way the story, this whole story is very fairy tale-esque. And I do also like how they're bringing together several different sort of, I guess you could say, regions of mythology and folklore. So, like, on the one hand, you have sort of, I guess you could say you have, in this one spot, you sort of have more European folklore mythology beings, and like several specific. What's interesting is a few of them are coming from more Shakespearean ideas, but then you've got some, I guess you could say, vaguely British folk, like not folklore, but the ideas of like the fairy guardians and like the fae living in the woods and the nature and everything. You see that a lot in like Arthurian history and like mythology and stuff, and I'm sure it's in a lot of places. That's just where I personally know it from. I'm sure it's not like it's probably not like specifically British or anything. I'm sure it's from, like, you see it all over the UK, and you also probably, in all likelihood, and I've heard like similar things, like going by different names and stuff, like all over the world. But this specific flavor of it, to my passing knowledge, fits a lot of the British and UK folklore mythologies. So if there's a more specified like place that these particular that this in particular is drawing from, I'd love to hear. Or if this is something, if all this leans against seems to be drawing from a story you've heard before, that maybe I've never even like come across, I'd love to find out and hear about it. Leave it in the comments. I'd love to hear about this kind of thing. But until next time, I'm Trickster Cat, the Alpha Monster. And would you like to continue?